What will you do? Will you sit there and wait for life to hand you what you want? Or will you stand up and take control? Will you complain about what you cannot change, or will you change what you can? The choice is always in your hands, though most people refuse to believe it. They wait, they hesitate, they delay, because taking action requires courage. It requires discipline. It requires you to stop making excuses and start making decisions. You say you want to be better, but what will you do about it? You say you want peace, but will you take the steps to silence the noise within? You say you want success, but will you put in the work when no one is watching? Too many people wait for the right time, the right conditions, the right circumstances, but the right time is now. There is no perfect moment coming. There is no magical force that will remove your fears and struggles. There is only you standing in the present, deciding what comes next. You must train yourself to see things as they are, not as you wish them to be. Stop longing for an easy road. Stop hoping for people to change so your life becomes easier. The world will not bend to your comfort. You must become unshaken. You must become unbreakable. There will be pain, there will be setbacks. There will be moments where everything seems impossible, but what will you do? Will you crumble? Will you surrender to your emotions? Or will you stand firm like a mountain unmoved by the storm? The Stoics understood that life is not about what happens to you, but how you respond. You will not control everything. You will not dictate the way the world moves. People will disrespect you. They will betray you. Plans will fail. Money will be lost. But you still have the power over one thing: yourself. And that is all you need. Your mind, your attitude, your decisions. These belong to you alone. No man can take them unless you give them away. So what will you do when adversity comes? Will you panic, or will you remain composed? Will you blame others, or will you take responsibility? Weakness is not in hardship. It is in the response to hardship. There are those who let suffering define them, and there are those who use it to transform themselves. Which one will you be? The world is filled with distractions, useless opinions, endless comparisons. People are drowning in the noise of things that do not matter. Do you think Marcus Aurelius worried about what others thought of him? Do you think Epictetus wasted time complaining about things outside his control? No. They focused only on what they could do, and they did it with excellence. You must do the same. You must clear your mind of useless worries. Stop asking, "What if?" and start asking, "What now?" What can you do in this moment to become better? What actions will push you forward instead of keeping you stuck? Every morning you wake up. You are faced with a decision. Will you follow the crowd, or will you forge your own path? Will you react to life, or will you take control of your mind? Your future is built in the small moments. The choices you make when no one is looking. When the alarm rings, do you get up or do you delay? When discipline calls, do you answer or do you make excuses? When hardship strikes, do you break or do you grow? Do not think in terms of tomorrow. Tomorrow is an illusion. Do not waste time fantasizing about the future while doing nothing in the present. Action is the only proof of intention. A man who speaks of greatness but does nothing is a fool. A man who moves without speaking is a force. Pain is inevitable, struggle is unavoidable, but suffering is optional. It is a choice. It is a refusal to accept what is. Do not resist reality, embrace it, use it, learn from it. Life is not meant to be easy, it is meant to forge you into something stronger. What will you do with the hardships given to you? Will you see them as curses, or will you recognize them as opportunities? There are no obstacles, only stepping stones. There is no failure, only lessons. There are no excuses, only decisions. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside of you. It is within. It is the voice that says, I cannot. The doubt that whispers, I am not enough. The fear that grips your heart and tells you to wait, to hesitate, to do nothing. You must silence that voice with action, not words, not wishes. Action. What will you do when the world turns against you? Will you give in, or will you stand your ground? Will you allow your emotions to dictate your actions, or will you remain steady, firm in your purpose? The weak are slaves to their feelings. The strong master them. Most people let their emotions control their actions. They let fear stop them. They let anger blind them. They let sadness weaken them. But emotions are nothing more than passing clouds. They are not reality. They are not truth. Do not react to them. Observe them. Control them. Master them. The one who is calm in the storm is the one who wins. The one who stands firm when others collapse is the one who thrives. It is not strength that wins. It is endurance. It is not intelligence alone that triumphs. It is persistence. The greatest warriors are not the loudest, but the most disciplined. The strongest minds are not the ones that shout, but the ones that remain still. What will you do with your time? Will you waste it, or will you use it? Will you spend hours in distractions, in useless entertainment, in mindless gossip, or will you focus on what truly matters? Time is slipping through your fingers. Every second wasted is a second you will never get back. You do not have time to be lazy. You do not have time to indulge in weakness. You do not have time to live in regret. There is only now, and what you do now determines everything. What will you do when the opportunity comes? Will you hesitate, or will you seize it? Will you make excuses, or will you take the step forward? Most people spend their lives waiting for the right time, waiting for motivation, waiting for luck. But the ones who achieve, the ones who succeed, the ones who change their lives, they do not wait. They act, they move, they take what is given to them and make something out of it. There is no waiting in life. Life does not pause for you to gather your thoughts. It moves forward, with or without you. If you are not moving, you are falling behind. If you are not growing, you are decaying. If you are not deciding, life will decide for you. What will you do when you fail? Because you will fail. You will stumble, you will make mistakes. But failure is not the end. Failure is not defeat. The only real defeat is quitting. The only true loss is giving up. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a test. You can either let it stop you, or you can use it to become wiser, sharper, stronger. Look at the great figures of history. Did they quit when things got hard? Did they surrender to their fears? No. They kept going, they adapted, they grew, and because of that, they left their mark on the world. You have the same choice. What will you do with your mind? Will you fill it with negativity, with doubt, with fear? Or will you train it, sharpen it, strengthen it? Your mind is your most powerful weapon, but only if you know how to use it. Feed it with wisdom, train it with discipline, shape it with action. What will you do with your life? Because one day it will end. One day your time will be up. One day you will look back and ask yourself, did I live fully? Did I do what I was meant to do? And on that day, will ye be filled with pride or regret? What will you do?